Welcome to the North Omaha Academy of Healthy Living, a project of the North Omaha Area Health Clinic, or NOAA. NOAA is about providing health education and screening to people in their community, regardless of their ability to pay. Our motto is in the community for the community. This is session 2 of the educational series called Eat Well, Live Well. We hope you had a great week where you learned about planning what you eat. My name is Mark Darby, and I am the director of the North Omaha Academy of Healthy Living. I want to welcome everyone who came back and wish hello to any new persons who are attending these sessions. Last week we spoke about planning, which is the first of 3 tools we use in this course. The 3 tools we use are called Plan, Track, Review. Plan what you eat before you eat it. Track what you eat while you eat it. Review what you eat after you ate it. Of course, I also recommend that whatever you use any of these tools, you do so after a period of prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation calms the mind and makes planning more effective. It helps to retrain our reaction to food, which is the primary goal of Eat Well, Live Well. This week, we're talking about tracking what you eat. Now you may say, that sounds like a lot of work. Keep track of what you eat? You really want me to do that? I don't think of it as work. I like to think of it as a growing awareness. So while it takes some effort, it does not have to be drudgery. In fact, it can be a lot of fun if you give it a chance. Now, if you're a little skeptical, just try to keep an open mind. Let's start by talking about why we track. To answer that question, we must start by remembering the world we are up against when it comes to food. We have larger portions and more calorie-packed foods than we did 20 years ago. We also have more emotional and habitual eating. Now think about this. Did any of these changes in our food and eating patterns happen consciously? Did you, for example, carefully study your eating patterns and decide that you would eat larger amounts of calorie-packed foods, or did it happen outside of your awareness? I certainly don't remember waking up one day and deciding that I was going to eat this much. Did you? No, of course not. None of us did. These changes evolved over time. Portions got bigger and calories increased. And we changed as well. We started to eat out more, and we ate in front of the TV, and we ate at our desk at work. We would eat whatever was convenient. We did all this slowly without thinking. In other words, we have decreased awareness about what we eat and how we eat. So what happens when we're not aware of how we're eating? Well, let's look at this picture. You see this driver doing everything he should not do, right? He's eating 2 things and texting. And in the background, what do you see in front of him? Yep, that's a child on a bicycle. So what is about to happen? I hate to think about what's really going to happen, but in this world, when you drive distracted, you hit something. And in our world, with larger portions, calorie-packed food, and emotional eating and habitual eating, when you live distracted, you eat something. Since we don't think about what we eat, we become unaware. Unawareness makes us more susceptible to eat when we are not hungry. Let's try something and see how this works, okay? Right now, ask yourself, are you hungry? Now, rather than answer that question yes or no, rate your hunger on a scale from 1 to 10. Don't tell me the answer, just keep it to yourself. 1 is not hungry and 10 is famished. Don't think too much about it, just pick a number and write it down. Got it? Good. Now let's look at some pictures. Which of these is your favorite candy bar? Take a good long look. Can you see the Twix bar? There it is, right on the left next to the Kit Kat by the Reese's. What is your favorite? Mine is right in the middle, the Snickers bar. Just looking at it makes my mouth water. What about you, our listeners? Are any of these candy bars your favorite? Perhaps your favorite is missing. Now, how about these? Perhaps candy is not your downfall, but maybe a bakery is what really makes you want to eat. The velvet cake can be really tasty. Not to mention that rhubarb pie in the background. I can just remember the first time I ate some when I was a child with some really cold ice cream. I can almost see it myself and taste the texture in my mouth. How about you, listeners? What is your favorite dessert? What do you really like to eat? While you're thinking about that, let me ask you another question. Are you more hungry now than when we asked you to rate your hunger a few minutes ago? Is your mouth watering? Do you have more thoughts about food? If so, then you can begin to see what can happen if we do not track when we eat. As we go through the day, we get subtle messages to eat. Any picture of food encourages us to eat. The candy jar at work encourages us to eat. Seeing someone else eating encourages us to eat. All that can occur when we are not hungry. Without tracking, we can forget what we just ate, how full we are, that we just decided we are done eating. With tracking, we increase our awareness of things which promote eating, such as watching TV, being out with friends, larger plates, or convenient food. Now, to illustrate this point, we encourage you to watch a clip on YouTube. It's from CNN and it's called America's Killer Diet. The URL for this video is listed below. If you have access to YouTube, pause this recording now and watch the video. If you don't have access to YouTube, don't worry, we'll hit the high points now. In the video, Brian Wansink from Cornell University's Food and Brand Lab set up an experiment at a restaurant. In the restaurant, 2 tables of friends are offered unlimited chicken wings. The only difference between the 2 groups is that one group will have all the bones removed when they get a new helping of chicken wings. The other group did not have the bones removed. Each time that group decided whether or not they wanted to eat more chicken wings, they could see how much they had just eaten. As you can imagine, the group that had the bones removed each time and were therefore unaware of how much they had ordered ate 14% more food than the other group. In similar experiments, Wansink found that when you lose track of what you eat, people eat twice as much. It's a fun video to watch. The part I really love was at the very end. When both groups were leaving the restaurant, they were offered free cookies. Despite the fact that everyone just told the CNN crew they were full and could not eat another bite, almost 75% of the people took a cookie. Most took more than one. They were eating with their eyes, not with their stomach. The seafood diet. If you see it, you eat it. What I also found interesting was how good the cookies looked to me. I found myself saying, "Can I get some of those?" Now, tracking helps to fight that. If we monitor what we eat on an ongoing basis, then we tend to counteract all the cues we receive to eat. That is why the second tool in Plan, Track, Review is tracking. There are several ways to track. On the screen are several free websites you can use to keep track of what you eat. The USDA Super Tracker is a very good tool and is maintained by the United States Department of Agriculture. There are also phone apps you can use. We have listed 2 of the most popular free apps. MyFitnessPal is the one I use. Once you get it set up, it takes only a few moments. The advantage of using your phone is that you can use it anywhere. If you are in a restaurant and you want to see how much you are eating, people just think you are using your phone. They don't have to know what it's for. We also have a middle column in our workbook. That can be used for tracking as well. It can be very easy. You just have to write down the name of the foods you are eating. That will also give you the space to decide if you want to eat more. Some folks also write down the portions of what they eat. That makes some sense, especially if you are tracking but still gaining weight. If this is occurring, then you should keep track of portions. The phone apps and Super Tracker help you to count calories, which is very helpful to portion control. In another video, we'll talk about how you can use your hands to estimate portions. We would encourage you to check out that video now if you're curious. Otherwise, we have an exercise for you called the plate and pretzel exercise that we would like you to carry out and discuss. The instructions for that exercise are in your workbook, and it will show you how your eyes can be bigger than your stomach. Good luck with the exercise. We hope you have a good week tracking. Next time, we'll talk about reviewing what you have learned.